Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be here with you today, sharing a message that I believe can transform not just your lives, but the world around us. Today, let's talk about a profound truth: charity makes you rich. When you give, something incredible happens, not just to the receiver, but to you as well. Let's dive into why this principle is so life-changing. When you give, something extraordinary happens, not just to the recipient, but deep within your own life. It's a principle as old as time itself, found in every culture, every religion, every philosophy worth its salt. Generosity unlocks blessings far beyond what money can buy. When you take what you have, no matter how little or how much, and use it to bless others, you step into a flow of abundance that no earthly possession can rival. Giving is not just an act, it's a mindset, a way of living that opens you up to experience life in its fullest measure. You see, the blessings that generosity unlocks aren't confined to material wealth. While financial prosperity may come, the true rewards are often intangible but infinitely more valuable. When you give, you invite peace, joy, and a sense of purpose to settle into your heart. You begin to see the world differently. Your perspective shifts from one of self-centered accumulation to a broader understanding of interconnectedness, where your contributions ripple out into the lives of others and come back to you in ways you can't predict or control. Generosity also unlocks the blessing of contentment. In a world constantly pushing us to want more, to chase the next big thing, giving reminds us that what we already have is enough. It teaches us that fulfillment doesn't come from hoarding resources, but from sharing them. When you give, you're telling yourself, I am not lacking. I have enough to share. That affirmation alone can break chains of greed, anxiety, and insecurity. It frees you from the endless cycle of chasing after material things that ultimately can't satisfy the deepest longings of your soul. But generosity does more than change your mindset. It changes the atmosphere around you. It creates opportunities for divine favor to enter your life. People who live generously often find that doors open for them in the most unexpected ways. It's as if the universe, or for those of us who believe, God takes notice and says, here is someone I can trust with more. When you prove faithful with the little you have, you position yourself to receive greater blessings. And let's not overlook the joy that comes from giving. There's a unique kind of happiness that can't be replicated by receiving. It's the joy of making someone else's life better. Whether it's the smile on a child's face, the relief in a struggling family's eyes, or the gratitude of a stranger who received your kindness, these moments fill your heart in a way nothing else can. They remind you that you're part of something much bigger than yourself. When you give, you also strengthen your faith. It's a powerful act of trust to let go of what you have, believing that there's more where that came from. Every act of generosity says, I believe that I will always have enough to give. And in that trust, you find freedom from fear, freedom from worry, and freedom from the grip of materialism. You're no longer bound by the belief that your worth is tied to what you possess. Instead, you begin to understand that your value is in who you are and how you impact the world around you. Generosity creates a ripple effect that goes far beyond the initial act. The resources you share can lead to life-changing opportunities for others, and their gratitude often inspires them to pay it forward. Suddenly, your one act of kindness has set off a chain reaction of goodness that multiplies and grows, touching lives you may never even know about. Finally, let's consider the legacy you're building. What you give today doesn't just impact the present, it leaves a mark on the future. Whether it's through supporting education, providing for those in need, or simply being an example of kindness and generosity, your giving echoes through time. It shapes the world in ways that outlive you, ensuring that your life mattered in a profound way. So when you give, you're not just meeting a need or fulfilling a duty. You're tapping into a timeless principle that enriches your soul, blesses your life, and leaves a lasting imprint on the world. Generosity truly unlocks blessings far beyond what money can buy. Giving shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. It's a transformative act, one that changes how you see the world, yourself, and what's possible in your life. Most people live with a scarcity mindset, always worried there won't be enough money, enough resources. This mindset creates stress, fear, and a relentless pursuit of more, often at the expense of joy and peace. But when you give, something amazing happens. You move from the fear of lack to the confidence of abundance. When you choose to give, you make a profound statement. You declare that you trust there will always be enough. You begin to see your resources not as something to guard jealously, but as something to be shared freely. And here's the paradox: the more you give, the more you realize you have. That's because generosity rewires your mind to focus on what you do have rather than what you don't. It teaches you to see opportunities instead of limitations, blessings instead of burdens, and possibilities instead of problems. This shift in focus is life-changing. People with a scarcity mindset often cling tightly to what they have, afraid to lose it. But that fear creates a sense of isolation and limits their ability to grow. It's like holding sand in your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the more slips through your fingers. On the other hand, when you give, you open your hands, and in doing so, you open your heart and your life to receive more. Giving doesn't just change your perspective, it also changes the energy you bring into the world. Scarcity thinking is rooted in fear, but abundance thinking is rooted in faith. When you give, you project confidence, positivity, and generosity. People are naturally drawn to that kind of energy. It attracts opportunities, builds relationships, and creates a cycle of reciprocity where blessings flow to and from you. Another powerful aspect of giving is that it helps you break free from the constant comparison trap. In a scarcity mindset, people are often preoccupied with what others have, whether it's more money, a better house, or a more glamorous life. This comparison breeds envy and dissatisfaction. But when you give, you stop focusing on what others have and start focusing on what you can give. Your perspective shifts from measuring your life against someone else's to seeing the unique value you bring to the table. Generosity also helps you redefine what abundance truly means. The world often equates abundance with material wealth, but giving teaches you that abundance is so much more than that. It's about having a full heart, a peaceful mind, and a sense of purpose. It's about knowing that you are enough, that you have enough, and that you can make a difference in the lives of others. One of the most beautiful things about shifting from scarcity to abundance is that it doesn't require you to be wealthy. You don't have to wait until you have more to start giving. Generosity is not about the amount you give. It's about the spirit in which you give. Even small acts of kindness can have a profound impact both on the receiver and on you. And as you give, you'll find that the sense of abundance grows within you. This shift also affects how you approach challenges. A scarcity mindset sees obstacles as insurmountable because it focuses on what's lacking: resources, time, or support. But an abundance mindset sees challenges as opportunities for growth, creativity, and collaboration. When you give, you cultivate a belief that there is always a way forward even when things seem difficult. Generosity has a way of breaking down barriers, both internal and external. It softens your heart and opens your eyes to the needs of others, but it also builds bridges between you and the people around you. When you give, you foster a sense of community and connection. You realize that you are not alone, and that together we have more than enough to meet the challenges of life. Finally, shifting from scarcity to abundance through giving allows you to live with a sense of freedom. Scarcity keeps you trapped in a mindset of hoarding and fear, but abundance sets you free to live generously and boldly. You stop worrying about losing what you have and start focusing on how you can use it to create good in the world. And in that freedom, you find a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment than you ever could by holding on tightly to what you possess. Charity cultivates relationships and opens unexpected doors. When you choose to live a life of generosity, something remarkable happens in your connections with others. Giving creates a bond, a bridge between you and the people you help, as well as those who witness your kindness. It turns simple interactions into meaningful relationships and transforms casual acquaintances into lifelong allies. There's something about an act of charity that speaks to the deepest part of our humanity, reminding us that we're all in this together and that our lives are richer when shared. When you give, you're not just offering resources, you're offering a piece of yourself. Whether it's your time, your attention, or your material wealth, giving demonstrates care and compassion. It tells others that they matter, that their struggles are seen, and that they are not alone. This simple but powerful message resonates deeply and often leads to a sense of mutual respect and trust. People are drawn to those who give, not just because of what they offer, but because of the spirit behind their actions. Generosity has a magnetic quality. It attracts goodwill and fosters connections that might never have formed otherwise. In building these relationships, you create a network of kindness and reciprocity. The people you help often feel inspired to give in return, not always to you, but to others. This ripple effect of generosity spreads far beyond the initial act, creating a community of shared support and encouragement. Over time, these connections grow stronger, leading to opportunities and relationships you might never have anticipated. Sometimes the doors that open as a result of your giving are practical and immediate. For instance, helping someone in their time of need may result in their willingness to help you when you face your own challenges. Or perhaps your act of kindness introduces you to someone who becomes a mentor, a partner, or a lifelong friend. These tangible benefits are valuable, but they are only the beginning. The most profound doors that charity opens are often intangible. Giving allows you to connect with people on a deeper level, breaking down walls of mistrust, misunderstanding, or indifference. It creates an environment of openness where genuine relationships can flourish. When you give, you show vulnerability, acknowledging that we all need one another. This vulnerability invites others to do the same, fostering authentic and meaningful connections. Generosity also has a way of revealing the best in people. When you give, you inspire others to rise to the occasion to match your kindness with their own. In this way, charity doesn't just build relationships, it elevates them. It encourages everyone involved to be more compassionate, more empathetic, and more willing to support one another. These qualities form the foundation of strong, enduring relationships that can weather life's ups and downs. Giving also creates opportunities for personal growth within these relationships. It challenges you to step outside your comfort zone, to see the world through someone else's eyes, and to prioritize their needs above your own. This selflessness not only strengthens your character, but also deepens your bonds with others. People are naturally drawn to those who exhibit genuine desire to make a difference. And these qualities often lead to relationships that are both rewarding and transformative. Another incredible aspect of charity is that it often brings you into contact with people you might never have encountered otherwise. By giving to causes or communities outside your usual sphere, you expand your horizons and meet individuals who broaden your perspective. These new connections can introduce you to different cultures, ideas, and ways of thinking, enriching your life in ways you never expected. And then there are the unexpected doors that open in moments of serendipity. Sometimes a simple act of charity can set off a chain of events that leads to opportunities you couldn't have planned for. Maybe you donate to a cause and end up meeting someone influential in your field. Maybe you volunteer your time and discover a new passion or talent. These moments of unexpected blessing remind us that generosity has a way of multiplying, often in ways we can't foresee. Charity also builds a reputation that precedes you. When you give consistently and authentically, people take notice. They see you as someone who cares, someone who can be trusted, and someone who adds value to the world. This reputation can open doors in both personal and professional spheres, leading to opportunities that align with your values and aspirations. Finally, charity deepens the relationships you already have. It brings families closer together as they rally around a shared cause. It strengthens friendships by providing opportunities to support one another in meaningful ways. And it enhances romantic partnerships by fostering a sense of shared purpose and commitment to making a difference. Generosity infuses every relationship with a sense of purpose, reminding us that our connections with others are some of the greatest blessings we can experience. The more you pour out, the more you're filled with joy and purpose. This truth may seem counterintuitive at first, especially in a world that often tells us to hold on tightly to what we have. Yet time and again, life proves that giving is not a depletion, but an infusion of filling of the heart, the spirit, and the soul. Generosity, in all its forms, transforms not just the recipient, but also the giver, creating a sense of fulfillment that no material possession or achievement can replicate. When you give, you step into a flow that brings joy. There is something deeply satisfying about knowing you've made a difference, no matter how small. Perhaps it's helping someone in need, supporting a cause you believe in, or simply sharing a smile or a kind word with a stranger. These acts of giving tap into a fundamental part of who we are as human beings, our innate desire to connect, to uplift, and to contribute to something greater than ourselves. In doing so, we experience a joy that runs deeper than momentary happiness. This joy stems from the realization that you are part of something larger than yourself. Giving shifts your focus outward, allowing you to see the world beyond your own needs and desires. It reminds you that life is not just about accumulation or competition, but about connection and contribution. This perspective brings clarity and purpose, grounding you in the understanding that your actions matter and that you have the power to create positive change. Generosity has a way of breaking down walls within your heart. It softens the edges of cynicism, selfishness, and fear, replacing them with empathy, compassion, and love. When you give, you open yourself up to the possibility of being moved, not just emotionally, but spiritually. You begin to see the beauty in others, in their resilience, in their gratitude, and their ability to persevere. This awakening brings with it a profound sense of purpose, a sense that your life is meaningful because it touches the lives of others. One of the most powerful aspects of giving is the way it transforms challenges into opportunities. When you pour out what you have, whether it's your time, energy, or resources, you often find that the very act of giving strengthens you. It builds resilience, teaching you that even in moments of scarcity or struggle, there's always something you can offer. This mindset not only empowers you, but also fills you with a sense of purpose. Instead of being consumed by your own difficulties, you find joy in helping others overcome theirs. The joy and purpose that come from giving are not tied to the size of the gift, but to the heart behind it. Even small acts of kindness can have a profound impact, both on the recipient and on you. A kind word, a listening ear, or a helping hand can bring light to someone's darkest moments, and in doing so, it brings light to yours as well. The satisfaction of knowing you've made someone's day a little brighter or their burden a little lighter is a reward that money can't buy. This sense of joy and purpose is magnified when you give consistently. Over time, generosity becomes more than an act. It becomes a way of life. You begin to look for opportunities to give, to serve, and to uplift. This proactive approach to generosity creates a cycle of fulfillment. The more you give, the more joy and purpose you feel, and the more you're inspired to give again. Generosity also aligns you with your values and priorities. It reminds you of what truly matters: relationships, community, and the impact you leave behind. In a world that often distracts us with trivial pursuits, giving brings clarity. It helps you focus on the things that bring lasting fulfillment rather than fleeting satisfaction. This alignment creates a deep sense of purpose, anchoring you in the knowledge that your life is contributing to something meaningful. Another beautiful aspect of pouring out is the way it multiplies. Your giving doesn't just stop with the person or cause you help. It creates a ripple effect, inspiring others to give and spreading positivity far beyond what you could accomplish on your own. This realization fills you with even greater joy, knowing that your generosity has set in motion a chain reaction of kindness and compassion. The more you pour out, the more you realize that true abundance comes not from what you keep, but from what you share. This understanding changes how you approach life, relationships, and even challenges. It fills you with a sense of gratitude, knowing that you have the ability to make a difference. And it fills you with purpose, knowing that your life is being used to bless others in meaningful ways. In this way, generosity becomes a wellspring of joy and purpose that never runs dry. The more you give, the more you're filled, not just with the satisfaction of having helped, but with a renewed sense of why you're here and what you're capable of. Acts of kindness create a ripple effect that outlasts your lifetime. Each time you extend a helping hand, speak a kind word, or share what you have, you initiate a chain reaction of goodness that extends far beyond the immediate moment. This ripple effect is one of the most powerful aspects of giving, as it shows how one simple act of charity can grow, multiply, and touch countless lives in ways you might never see or fully understand. Kindness has a contagious quality. When someone receives an act of generosity, it often inspires them to do the same for someone else. They feel the impact of your giving, not just in their circumstances, but in their spirit, and it awakens a desire to pass it on. This phenomenon turns individual acts of charity into waves of positive change that spread through families, communities, and even across the world. What starts as a small gesture can set off a series of events that multiply your initial act of kindness many times over. Think about the countless stories of people whose lives were changed by a single act of charity. Perhaps a struggling student received a scholarship and later went on to become a teacher, inspiring and educating hundreds of others. Or maybe a meal shared with someone in need gave them the strength to face another day, ultimately leading to a life transformed. These stories remind us that the impact of our giving often reaches much further than we can see. Generosity also plants seeds of hope in the hearts of those who receive it. For many, an act of kindness is more than just practical help. It's a reminder that someone cares, that they're not alone, and that better days are possible. This hope can be a powerful motivator, giving people the courage to keep going, to strive for more, and to pay the kindness forward. In this way, the ripple effect of charity is not just about spreading resources, but about spreading inspiration and possibility. Your acts of kindness also have a way of creating lasting change within communities. When you invest in others, whether it's through your time, resources, or skills, you contribute to the growth and betterment of the entire community. The impact of your generosity can lead to improved education, better health, stronger relationships, and more opportunities for everyone involved. These changes often endure for generations, creating a legacy of positive impact that far outlasts your initial act of giving. Even small acts of kindness can create ripples that extend across time and space. A simple smile, a word of encouragement, or a moment of listening might seem insignificant in the moment, but it can have a profound effect on someone's life. That person, in turn, may carry the kindness forward, impacting others in ways you'll never know. It's a beautiful reminder that every act of generosity, no matter how small, has the potential to create a lasting legacy. The ripple effect of kindness isn't limited to the lives of others. It also transforms your own life. When you give, you become part of something much bigger than yourself. You begin to see the interconnectedness of humanity, recognizing that your actions matter and that you have the power to make a difference. This awareness brings a sense of purpose and fulfillment, encouraging you to continue giving and to seek out new ways to contribute. Generosity also creates a culture of kindness within the spaces you inhabit. Whether it's your workplace, your neighborhood, or your family, acts of charity set an example for others to follow. People are naturally inspired by kindness. They want to be part of it, to replicate it, and to contribute to the positive environment it creates. Over time, this culture of generosity can transform entire groups of people, fostering unity, collaboration, and mutual support. One of the most beautiful aspects of the ripple effect is that it transcends time. While you may not live to see the full extent of your impact, your acts of kindness can continue to inspire and influence others long after you're gone. The lives you touch, the opportunities you create, And the hope you spread can ripple through future generations, shaping the world in ways you might never have imagined. This legacy of kindness is perhaps the greatest gift you can give. It's a reminder that your life is about more than just what you accomplish for yourself. It's about the difference you make in the lives of others. Through your generosity, you leave behind a world that is kinder, more compassionate, and more connected. The ripple effect also serves as a powerful testament to the idea that no act of kindness is ever wasted. Even when you don't see immediate results or tangible outcomes, your giving is never in vain. It sets something in motion, something good, something meaningful, something that has the potential to change lives in profound and lasting ways. This truth is both humbling and empowering as it shows that your actions, no matter how small, have the capacity to create a far-reaching impact. Charity teaches you that true wealth is not measured by what you accumulate, but by what you share. In a world often consumed by the pursuit of material success, this lesson stands as a beacon of clarity, cutting through the noise to reveal what truly matters. Wealth in its truest form is not about numbers in a bank account or possessions in a home. It's about the richness of your heart, the depth of your relationships, and the impact you make in the lives of others. When you give, you redefine the meaning of abundance. It's easy to believe that wealth is about having more money, more possessions, more accolades, but charity reveals a deeper truth. Real abundance comes from recognizing that you already have enough to make a difference. This shift in perspective is transformative. Instead of focusing on what you lack, you start to see the blessings you have and how those blessings can be used to uplift others. Giving also helps you break free from the endless cycle of comparison and competition. Society often teaches us to measure our worth by what we own or achieve compared to others. This mindset breeds envy, insecurity, and a constant feeling of never being enough. But when you choose to give, you step out of that cycle. You stop comparing and start contributing. You realize that true wealth isn't about how much you have, but about what you're willing to share. Charity also brings a profound sense of freedom. The pursuit of material wealth often comes with its own set of change, stress, fear of loss, and a constant need for more. But when you give, you release your grip on those chains. You let go of the fear that there isn't enough and embrace the joy of sharing what you have. This freedom allows you to live with a sense of lightness and purpose, unburdened by the weight of materialism. Through giving, you begin to understand that wealth is a tool, not a goal. Money and resources, while valuable, are not ends in themselves. They are means to create positive change. This understanding shifts your focus from accumulating wealth to using it wisely and generously. It's no longer about how much you can keep, but about how much good you can do. This mindset not only brings greater fulfillment, but also aligns your actions with your values, creating a sense of harmony and purpose in your life. One of the most beautiful aspects of charity is the way it multiplies. The more you give, the more you realize you have to offer, not just materially, but emotionally, spiritually, and relationally. Giving expands your capacity for compassion, empathy, and love. It deepens your connections with others and strengthens your sense of community. In this way, charity doesn't just enrich the lives of those you help, it enriches your own life in profound and lasting ways. Charity also reminds you that true wealth is found in relationships. The connections you build through acts of generosity are worth more than any amount of money. These relationships are built on trust, respect, and mutual care, creating a network of support and encouragement that money can't buy. When you invest in people rather than possessions, you create a legacy of love and connection that outlasts any material wealth. Another lesson charity teaches is the value of gratitude. When you give, you become more aware of the blessings in your own life. You start to see the abundance you've been given, not just in material terms, but in the opportunities, relationships, and experiences that make life meaningful. This sense of gratitude transforms your outlook, replacing feelings of scarcity or dissatisfaction with a deep appreciation for what you have. Through acts of charity, you also learn the power of humility. Giving requires you to acknowledge that you are part of a larger story, that your wealth and resources are not solely for your own benefit. This humility fosters a sense of responsibility and stewardship, encouraging you to use what you have for the greater good. It reminds you that wealth is not a measure of your worth, but a tool to create positive change in the world. Finally, charity teaches you that true wealth is not static, it's dynamic. It's not about what you hold on to, but about what you put into motion. Each act of giving sets something powerful in motion, whether it's hope in the heart of someone in need, inspiration in those who witness your generosity, or a ripple effect that changes entire communities. This dynamic nature of wealth ensures that your impact extends far beyond yourself, creating a legacy that continues to grow and inspire. In the end, charity shows you that true wealth is about living a life of purpose, connection, and contribution. It's about recognizing that the greatest treasures in life are not found in what you keep, but in what you give away. Through generosity, you discover a richness that transcends material possessions, a wealth that fills your heart and soul and leaves a lasting mark on the world. In conclusion, charity is not just an act, it's a way of life that transforms both the giver and the receiver. It enriches your soul, deepens your relationships, and creates a legacy that outlasts your lifetime. True wealth is found not in what you accumulate, but in what you share. For it is in giving that you discover joy, purpose, and the extraordinary power to make a difference. Let generosity guide your heart, and you'll find yourself living a life of true abundance.